What's up guys, thanks for checking out my channel, and before I begin, go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you don't miss any future content. So I've been using this Biltwell Gringo S helmet for some time now, and I was holding off on doing a review on this helmet because there's a lot of reviews like this already on YouTube. I've watched a lot of demos and reviews on this helmet before purchasing, but I think I'll share my perspectives on the helmet and talk about why this, the Biltwell Gringo S, is my favorite budget helmet. So I'll start with the money part first, because I like having a lot of helmets, and so I'm always looking for a way to save a bit of money on the new helmets. I think the only helmets that I've paid full price for was my Rock Atlas 2.0, which I'm still waiting for, and my new Simpson Mod Bandit. Normally, brand new Biltwell Gringo S retails for about $220, and when you get the box, you don't get any of the extras that you might expect with higher priced helmets. Some helmets come with the extra visor, or additional liners or cheek pads, keychains, hardware, stickers, etc. Nope, with the big Biltwell Gringo S, what you see is what you get. So I paid for a brand new Gringo S helmet in matte black for about $120. That's right, $120. I couldn't pass up that deal. This was for the new DOT/ECE approved helmet, not the older version that's only DOT approved. The new ones have been improved for better fit and protection, and since the Biltwell Gringo S is one of the most popular helmets, you'll eventually see a few of them come up on eBay or Revzilla for super cheap. Sometimes if you go on Amazon, you can scroll down below and they'll show you a cheaper price from different sellers. You should definitely take advantage of that. Because there's so many of these helmets out there, sellers are willing to move these items for cheap just to get the cash flow. So be patient and look around. Sure, you can find other helmets from, God knows where for $40 to $50, but I personally wouldn't trust those helmets. I'd rather go with the brand that's been around for quite some time and has established trust with the consumers. So as I mentioned, if you're patient enough and look around, you'll eventually find a Biltwell Gringo S for about $100, $120 or so. To me, that's a no-brainer. I'd definitely go pick that up. You get a DOT/EC approved helmet for a little over $100. You cannot find a better deal on a helmet. With the money that you save, you'll most likely want to upgrade the visor though. The one that it comes with is trash, and the Biltwell lane splitter is kind of the same way. The visor is very, very flimsy. And at night, I was getting light flares from the traffic lights, which is enormously distracting. It also has this plastic film that sort of melted in the heat during shipment, and I tried to clean it off with some water and a microfiber cloth, but it was just a mess. That's just my experience. I can't say that you'll have the same experience and that it's because it was a cheap helmet that I had poor experience, but just letting you know, this was my experience, so buyer beware. What's ironic to me is that Biltwell sells the shield separately, which costs about $35, $45, depending on the option that you go for, which is almost half the cost of the price that I paid for. Either way, I went with the chrome bubble shield visor and noticed a huge difference in quality. It's thicker material and sturdier and just has a better feel when you open and close the visor. I will say though, Biltwell does know how to make great visors. I love the chrome visor that I got. It looks great. I love the reflective mirror finish. When I'm at stoplights, you can't see I love the fact that they can't see my eyes. And the field of view is amazing. Overall, it's just a great looking visor, and it inspires a lot of confidence for me. I don't know why Biltwell just doesn't include the better visor and charge a bit more. If you get a subpar product, no matter the price that you pay, you're going to have some negative sentiment about the brand. So yeah, if I were Biltwell, I'd figure out a way to include the extra visor and bump the price up. I'd gladly pay a little extra for that just so that I can have a positive experience when I'm getting my brand new helmet and develop a more positive relationship with the brand itself. So the next topic that I want to cover is about the size of the helmet. Sizing is another interesting aspect to the Biltwell Gringo S. I'm an extra large and buy most of my helmets in extra large, but if you compare it with the size of the other helmets here, it's much smaller in profile. Check out this comparison between the Biltwell lane splitter and also the Simpson Mod Bandit. You can clearly see that it's smaller than the slightly smaller than the lane splitter, and much smaller than the Mod Bandit. The Mod Bandit is actually a large, but it's equivalent to a normal XL. I'm guessing it's because of the lack of protective layers around the helmet, though I haven't done my research on that. All I know is that I have a big head, and sometimes big shells tend to make me look like a bobblehead. With the Biltwell Gringo S, I feel like the proportions are just about right. The Biltwell Gringo S is a little tight for me though, even in a size XL, but I will say the benefit to that is a reduced wind noise. Normally, I have to wear earplugs, but with the Biltwell Gringo S, it's much quieter than most of the other helmets that I have that's, presumably more premium. Now, the price of the helmet has nothing to do with wind noise, but that's a big factor when you're riding above 60 miles an hour. So the downside to not having a lot of wind noise is probably because there's not a lot of air flow coming into the helmet. And that's the one downside of the Biltwell Gringo S. It just doesn't get a lot of airflow. When I was riding around, it was hot in the helmet. I would have to stop and lift up the visor, which is not very easy to do. And even if you did want to lift the visor up while you're riding or at a stoplight, it's a little difficult because of the button latching system that they have. You'd have to unhook the button and then lift it up. I don't know how to describe it. It's a little awkward. A lot of times I just opted for riding with the visor up just because I needed some airflow. So if you're gonna get this helmet, just be aware that you're not gonna get a whole ton of airflow flowing into the helmet. Again, this is another area that I think Biltwell could improve, but that also might mean that it raises the price of the cost of the helmet. Alright, so I've covered a lot of positives and negatives about the helmet, but the fact that I was able to get this helmet for less than $120, or just around $120, to me that's a huge value. The helmet looks great. I can work with the visor, I can work without a little bit of airflow. All those things are forgivable at a certain price point. Now, if you were to ask me, would I pay $220 for this helmet? Probably not. Unless they figure out how to ship with a better visor, whether it's clear or tinted or chrome. And also they figure out that button latching system. Those are probably the biggest gripes that I have. If you guys are thinking about picking up this helmet, again, my advice would be just be patient. If you need the helmet right away, I completely understand. You can probably still find some better deals on Amazon. But if you can be patient, if you have other helmets that you can use in the meantime, go ahead and wait around. You eventually will find some helmets on eBay or Revzilla for much cheaper, and at that price point, maybe for $150 or so, I would say that's a bargain. I will say though, you would want to upgrade the visor immediately, because the one that they come with is just so terrible. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for bearing with me here and me venting about the gripes on this helmet. I hope you guys found this video somewhat useful. If you did, please click that subscribe button, hit the like button, and until then, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.